To JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of any of the other channels? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time, they talk down to us, they think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube, Twitter. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions, let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Take talking about what would be the better storyline. Brock Purdy winning his first Super Bowl or Patrick Mahomes winning number 3. To me, this is an absolute positive no-brainer. I don't even know how this is even a debate or even a question. It's obviously Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, as everyone knows, was Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. And if he wins, he would be only the third Super Bowl in NFL history to win. He would be the third quarterback to win Super Bowl in his first year as a starter of a quarterback. You know, something that even Patrick Mahomes didn't even do. So that would be really remarkable and really special. And so I think that Brock Purdy's story would just be so remarkable when you really look at it from start to finish. Of not only was he the last pick in the draft, but then not only that, but then it's not like he was taking over for like a quarterback who was aging out and was getting old and done, like a Romo or something, or a Peyton Manning. Like, it was another hot shot quarterback who they drafted, you know, Trey Lance, and it was like, this guy's going to take over, you know, and actually he's going to take over for Jimmy Garoppolo right now, who was also, I know Garoppolo wasn't a hot shot, but Garoppolo still went to a Super Bowl. Garoppolo was still winning and playing well, which is why Brock Purdy was a third string. And so he now had to jump over that. You know, he had to step up for multiple injured quarterbacks, play great, got to an NFC Championship game, got injured himself, and then still was able to come back and then make it to the Super Bowl. There was no recovery. There was no, his arm is a little bit weak right now, or he needs to recover this, that. He was still able to just get right in there, play great from the jump, and then make it to the Super Bowl. That's amazing. And now if he wins a Super Bowl or gets an MVP, that's unbelievable. That's absolutely unbelievable.
What would be one of the better storyline?
It would be one of the best stories ever told in the NFL.
Most people have no clue that in...
Well, let's go.
What would be the better storyline? Is it Mahomes getting his third Super Bowl, obviously going back-to-back, or Mr. Irrelevant getting his first?
This got to be Purdy. I mean, listen, I love, and first of all, what Mahomes just said from a player perspective, you wouldn't want to play for a guy any more than he makes you want to play for him. This guy, he always says the right thing, and it's always from a genuine place from his heart, right? The sincerity he talks with is just unbelievable. But big stories for the Super Bowl. Think about this. Brock Purdy goes from Mr. Irrelevant. He takes his team and gets injured in the championship game last year, so he can't play it. His team's got to play with McCaffrey basically at the end of the year to go be the quarterback. He brings him back this year. All he does is continue to win, puts him on his back against Green Bay, and then comes back from this massive deficit against Detroit when Shanahan's brilliant offenses had been over in both cases, and somehow Mr. Irrelevant throws him on his back, carries him to the Super Bowl, and now if he wins, he beats what some would consider the GOAT already, who even though he has 2 Super Bowls. So not only would he go through all this stuff, he would beat the guy that everybody thinks is the GOAT. Like, there can't be a position in sport where you're at this spot, you can go knock off this guy with all the things that you've already done and can't be the greatest story. I mean, this guy has overcome all kinds of nonsense.
It's a Cinderella story.
It is.
Let's be honest. It could be a Disney movie.
Yeah. I mean, it is for real. It's as good as it gets. And so from my perspective, my money, I'm going to Purdy. It would just be an incredible story.
Yeah, it'd be a great story, but it wouldn't be the best story. The best story is Patrick Mahomes chasing down Tom Brady and being able to usurp him as the greatest quarterback of all time. Because if we're being honest, that's what we all want to see. Throughout the life of Patrick Mahomes' career, we recognize that he's not going to have anybody that rivals him as far as contemporaries go. There is no current peer in the National Football League for Patrick Mahomes' greatness. We just haven't seen it. I mean, this guy has been to 4 Super Bowls before.
Okay, that's just completely not true. His team is absolutely on another level. And I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, but to act like no one's even in his realm is just absurd. Joe Burrow is, Josh Allen is. Wait for Justin Herbert to now actually have a real coach in Harbaugh. Like, all those things matter. Patrick Mahomes has been given the greatest gift of having Andy Reid, and as well as having a great GM that put great pieces around him. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Pacheco, like, just great pieces around him. And you combine that with, obviously, as I just said, Andy Reid's brilliance, and you have great. That's not to take anything away from Mahomes. Again, I think Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play, whether he's the official GOAT or not. I think you got to wait to see how he ages, because you just don't know, and I'm not going to take that away from Tom Brady. But as of right now, he is undoubtedly the best quarterback in the NFL. No ifs, ands, or buts. But if he was drafted by the Tennessee Titans or the Carolina Panthers, would he really have gone to 4 Super Bowls? Would he really have won all these Super Bowls, all these playoff games, have all these stats? Absolutely, positively not. No doubt in my mind. Okay, so he's been very fortunate to have this amazing team around him with this amazing coach, and we're going to see a perfect example of this. How we saw Herbert really kind of struggle and not be able to really reach his level of greatness because of his coaching staff. He finally, for the first time, has a true blue blood head coach, and you're going to see how amazing he looks, and you're going to be able to be like, see, this is how important coaches matter. It matters. It matters. It matters. And okay, Patrick Mahomes is trying to chase and surpass Tom Brady. I agree with that. That doesn't mean that he has to win this Super Bowl right now. So it's like, so if him winning the 3rd Super Bowl is a better storyline than Brock Purdy winning his first one, considering his circumstances, it just doesn't make sense. If this was, Patrick Mahomes is like 6th Super Bowl or 5th Super Bowl. I mean, think about it. If he wins the Super Bowl, he still has 4 more wins just to tie it. And I know we like to think that that's so easy to get to, but the reality is you just have no idea how Patrick Mahomes is going to age. You just don't. Everyone thinks that, oh, look how young he is, and Tom Brady was able to play this long, so every quarterback is now going to be able to play that long. It's not how it works. There's a real scenario where in 5 years, Patrick Mahomes is a lot slower. Maybe he gets injured. Maybe he tears his Achilles. Obviously, you don't want to see any of that happen, but it's definitely possible. Those are real things that can happen. You have no idea. A lot of luck needed to happen for even Tom Brady to be able to play as long as he could. And so you just have no idea. So I just don't know how we can. I'm actually really kind of confused how anyone can say that the better storyline would be Patrick Mahomes winning Super Bowl number 3. If this was a three-peat, if this was his 3rd Super Bowl in a row, then I could see that argument. A three-peat, which would be incredibly impressive, and you would say, wow, that's, pretty remarkable. But that's not what we're talking about here. This is just a back-to-back. And so, or if it was something really unique, like a 4-peat or something. Like, again, if he was really doing something that no other quarterback has ever done before, but many quarterbacks have done this, I don't think there would be ever a quarterback who was drafted the last pick in the draft to then go win a Super Bowl. If there was, then please let me know, because I don't know it. So this would be absolutely remarkable, absolutely amazing. And it's also impressive because Brock Purdy would now be beating Patrick Mahomes, who's obviously amazing and elite, and Andy Reid and, the rest of them. If Patrick Mahomes beats Brock Purdy and Brock Purdy doesn't end up being that special of a quarterback, is it really that special to have Patrick Mahomes beat up on the last pick of the draft of a quarterback who ends up, maybe having a career where he's like the 20th best quarterback in the NFL? Is that really that impressive? I would say not at all. So to me, when it comes down to it, Brock Purdy has so much to gain, which is what makes his story so much more fascinating and amazing. And Patrick Mahomes, whether he wins or loses, will still ultimately be Patrick Mahomes. People will still talk about how amazing he is, how elite he is, how great he is, and everything else. Brock Purdy, to me, is undoubtedly the better storyline, and it's not even really that close. But what do you all think? Who do you think has the better storyline of winning, Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes? Please let me know in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this one. Please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really, really helps with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.